Yo, 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 yo. It's a very beautiful morning, yeah? Yo. Aruna, good morning. Good morning, too. It's almost the time, 10 a.m., and then we proceed. It's 10 a.m., then we kick off. We kick off this journey. We take it from there. We take it from there. Let me share this.
Okay, so we got this comment.
All right, now it is about the time now. Good morning, everyone. So today, yesterday we just were analyzing some market here, and today I'm going to just be brief. I have some meeting somewhere, but I just want to be brief on what we are really talking about today. So, without really forgetting about this, is that today is just going to be amazing. Right from Wednesday. And today being on Wednesday, so this is actually going to be carrying on all the way to Friday, where we have the NFP news. So the moment we'll be getting the NFP news, that will be Friday, I think the market will have actually moved so ahead. A lot of things are really going to be happening at that time, so by that Friday. So the market, of course, we expect it to move all the way to Friday because of the NFP news that is coming up. So you have to be very careful on that. Gone yesterday, there was a very big move, but I think I explained to that. So you can expect high volatility as well this week again, because there is high fundamentals that are really coming out. And apart even from fundamentals, there are a lot of things that are really happening throughout the world with the US. A lot of things that are driving this market level sentiment. Yeah. So a lot of, I think I have to find a time so that we can really analyze this into details, inner details of this market, because when it comes now to the fundamentals, because I think there are a lot of things that I'm not sharing here, and it's very important. Yeah, it's very important. These are things that are really going to affect market long term. These are things that can actually affect this market long term, and you have to be very careful on them, especially when you are now trading. So if this is your first time, or maybe you'll be watching this later, today is on Wednesday, on 1st of October 2025, and yesterday was on 30th of September. And I want us to really check the market in different areas. But as I said, fundamentals now and sentiment I think probably before tomorrow, because we have other news. Before now, we can go to the NFT on Friday. I think I have now to analyze. We get the first tomorrow, the first episode that we do tomorrow, the live of tomorrow. So what we're going to do is we are going to go into details of the sentiment and the fundamental analysis of the news that is coming. That will be very important so that we can be at the same page of what is really going to be happening to this market, because there are a lot of things right here, and this is indeed very shocking, because sometimes you can see how the gold is moving and you are wondering what is really happening. It's good for you to know that. Yeah, it's really good for you to know that, because just look at this. Yesterday we end, this is crazy. Yesterday we end gold moving from let me show you the move here. I don't know, but and also I liked in this zone here. Look at this. Gold actually moved all the way from that 872 and went all the way to that 793. That's big. That's big. That big. That big. Even with a low size of 0.01, the one that maybe it's underrated, that could actually have made you a lot of money, or you could have actually lost a lot of money there, because that is a very, very big move. But as you can see, I think if the market was just retracing before it continues to move up, but a retracement from here, let's say from here, if you go to the highest time frame, let's even go to like 4-hour time frame and see this. Yeah, so you can take from here. I think that was just a a normal retracement. We take from here. Yeah, just look at that. That is just a normal retracement that was happening, but this was a major one. So it's not like the 1 hour that we are normally to. So those are things that you actually have to be ready for, especially the big retracement line where the market is actually going to a small pullback before it continues to move up. And when you take this in between 78 and 68, you see it takes you in between there. But because there is another testing point here, so that could actually just be in something like this. Okay, you take it from around here, the testing point here. So that was already the point that you were expecting to get from this market, and you can see it touched this. So you even this market actually could have even gone to 82, but still we were waiting for it to move up. But these things actually happened very fast. These things actually happened very fast. They happened very fast. But remember, yesterday I did not actually have any buys for the gold. I waited for my selling point was actually 70. Here I just sold at the top here, but already sold around 50. So that was already enough for me, because I had already used a high low size for that. So that is what I'm expecting from the gold side here. Now, what can we expect really from this market? Because if you look at else at this, what normally happens to the market, just like this is what normally happens. You wait for this market, because there is a high chance it's going to continue moving up, but there is possibility it's going to come to 30s, and now before we move all the way up. That is some of the setup that you can actually be used to do, be seeing in the market happening all the time. So those are kind of things that you might be seeing from gold before now it proceeds to move up. Now, what can we really expect from this? If you get like 30s there and around 30, it can actually be a good point to buy again from that point. But remember, for short term, there are some people who are considering to buy around that year. It went just a small one before it proceeds to move upward, and that was crazy. But I think the retracement or this pullback that it did here, it was a long term. That's why you can see on the 4-hour time frame that was perfect. So I don't think this market might actually be visiting these areas again, unless maybe if it is going to be coming around this area here, which is around 38, 33. So once it hit 33 there, that can be a good spot to buy as gold continues to move high. There is a highly likelihood that the gold is going to test 39. That 9 is a high possibility that we are looking at 39. So there's possibility for that 9 that you're waiting to see from gold. That might be happening anytime soon. So you can actually be looking at that one. Yeah, can be waiting to see 39 any moment. So if probably I'm going to see the price is coming around 32 here, I can have at least a long entry that I'm going to be waiting to see from this market. That is what we have. Yesterday we traded USD JPY. It's here. Okay, that is what really happened last night, because I think I closed my positions because that was, I think it overstayed. It took a lot of time. So USD JPY, we in the scalp here, and we have another one here, but I was waiting for it to see whether we can actually get this market moving up. But I was very keen when this market touched this region here, because that was very important. When we get the market actually breaking those zones, it normally becomes very important, because if the market fails to break those zones, we normally get the market actually going to retrace back or going back again, and that is what happened to the euro USD JPY. But it's actually moved here, because remember, my buying position was between this 147.9 and 7 here. Okay, so buying from here, and the market decided to go all the way to 2225. That is the point that we are talking about. If the market is going to break that, we'll be sure that it's going to move all the way up here, but just filled here and continued now to move all the way down. I don't know where it is ending, up to which level, but perhaps when we reach to this low volume low here, probably it's going to be testing that, because for those who will be using volume profile, something about the high volume lows and areas, low area volumes that we have here, and high area volumes that we have on the upper side and the point of control. So in case we'll be touching around 147 here, the market actually might be testing that region again before we proceed to just move up to recover this big move that really happened around this area. But I really trust that because you see, this has actually been the market, like the market that is trying to move down, but you see there is high resistance that is really happening around here. Just look at this. These are strong support and demand zone around here that is happening from this market, but you can see it is really indeed trying to move up, because just look at this. If you look at this is the market that is trying to break on the upper side. Look at that, and we have it moving just like that. So it's a market that is trying to move like this. Yeah, it's a market that is trying to move just like this. And I think the next testing point, when you see this market moving, probably we are going to test this region around here. So it's going to be around this corner here. That is the place that we might be getting this market testing. The next time probably the market now start moving on the upper side, that region that we might be getting. But although whether it comes to this area here, probably around 146.66, around point of control here 147, that is actually going to be a nice one. but with this region being tested. So the most important thing that we really have to know is this market forming highs, is it really going to try to break on the upper side? Yes, as you can see from this. So when this market comes out here, you can actually switch to the lowest time frame, like 1 hour time frame, so that when this candle closes, and now you have to observe more on the candles, the more they will be soft. So in case you see like there is a candle that is forming here and is trying to move up, then now you can just decide to buy from there. I think it will be so nice for you to buy when the market now gives you the signal to move up. Now that is where you go into the details. Remember, now it's like just narrowing things down, but make sure that when you are buying this, you actually scale in if you'll be buying USD JPY from that. So you can see actually this move this was a buying point yesterday, so we bought in between here 147 and around this area, and there's this big move here. So when this market actually touched that one, I just decided to close because we have another day here, but I'll be looking again for another buy long term again for the USD JPY when the prices actually becomes low. Let's assume around 146, around 147. So the price is below 147 point something, there is going to be amazing. So I might be looking at that. Well, I think it's going to be amazing as well. So if you get prices lower than that, one thing that you have to note here is that the US JPY pairs normally are very volatile, just like gold. We can have these prices touching this area that you see here, which is around 146, and eventually you're going to see it jumping all the way to 148. Highly possible, it's very possible to get something like that, so you don't have to be worried. Now this is what I'm talking about, long term and short term. So you can actually scale in and on the 1 hour time frame, so that you can see in case this market now start touching around 146.8 there, then you can scale in. You just start looking for the candles and the area of the rest, which is around here 146.9 is actually going to be a zone that we are going to be looking at, because once this market reverses, remember, once we get a move on the upper side, this market is going to move here. We are going to have a very big move around here all the way to 150. So remember, last time we get around 158, so it's going to test around again that zone, that likelihood for testing that zone again. You can see, but maybe it can even break that one, because you can see it's a zone that has been tested so many times, and possible because you can see now the market is indeed moving up even on the highest time frame. So that is one of the things that you to check on the USD JPY. So it's ending to the right path for buy. So if you're looking to sell this market, take time, look for that's why you can see our entries here. The more we were trying to buy, the more the market was moving, the higher the probability of the market actually moving up. The more we end, high percentage of how do we call it, confidence. Okay, the more we end, high confidence of buying from this market. But make sure that at least when you buy this time, just hold, open some position that you're going to hold for even 2 days. If you're using the broker that normally charges you a lot of commissions when it comes to overnight charges, I think wewe unapaswa kuwa hama sasa. Myself, I'm kind of I'm not like a scalp, I'm not even a day trader, but some of the time, like when I see this position like that, like when we draw some of the positions here and we see like the possibility for breakout, those are the region that I normally highlight. For those you know me, that is what I do. I put the point where I know the market, in case it breaks this, high confidence in ongezeka. But when the market tests that region and reverses, then I can start closing my position, because I know it's going to be rejected those zones. So that's what I normally do most of the time. Omondi Arongo, good morning, my brother. How are you doing? I'm doing good here. Gone Studios, good morning, Dan. Good morning too. Yeah, Sacred, good morning too. We are here again. Patrick, morning Dan, USD JPY buy. Yeah, we are looking for buy, but Patrick, we are looking for buy, but tungoje kidogo tu drop kidogo. Once you see, like, you cannot buy when the market is still printing these candles here. You have to wait for at least a candle to close. Then I think the next candle is the one that will show you something. So if you click here, what is happening? Stock retreat going to hit record as US government shuts down. Okay, so that is what we were talking about yesterday. That is what we were talking about yesterday, and you can see how the gold prices are really moving. So these things here, the rumors and whatever just happening here, it's causing a lot of chaos for the US dollar, and that's why you can see even the U. Actually, I think this was a perfect move, as even you can tell. There's high volume that is here. Just look at this. There's big volume that is actually across this zone here around 147.8. That is why we were looking to buy here yesterday for this market to move. But you know, some of these things technically they can be override or they can be zinafunikwa na when we have such things like these ones. Yeah, they can actually be. That's why fundamentals, sentiment are very important. Some of the sentiment actually are going to, you can see everything here is actually going to, like, when you see the market moving just like this, just know it's just the sentiment because of the US stocks that is really happening to the market here. Whatever is just happening, government shutdown, and that is what is causing the market to do this one. Yeah, that is what is causing all these chaos that you see here. And that is it. That's why you see now the dollar is actually dropping. And let's see what is happening to the USD JPY. No, DXY. That's why you can see it's actually even being weaker. The DXY is becoming weaker. It's so weak. So weak. That's why you can see, for example, it tested in this region that we are talking about, and now we are up again. And we are up again. So which region am I talking about here? Because I think we were talking about this again the other day. Let's see the landing point. Probably this is going to be a possible. Just look at this. Remember this region we were talking about, but you can see the market was indeed testing this region, but after that but remember that we have a bigger one that is coming around this area. Yeah, for those who are joining the first day, this is what we were talking about, this area here being so important. So probably that's why you can see is almost the same as for the USD JPY. So once the USD JPY will be approaching the point that we are talking about, maybe then that is the time US dollar index, that is the same time index is actually going to be around here. So once it will be start moving, gaining strength from this point here, that is that's almost the same time the USD JPY is actually going even to moving up again as well. So that's the kind of things that I'm looking at. So when this DXY comes to this region here, probably that is the time we are going to be checking as well how the things are really going to be. There is some of things that I'm going to be interesting to show you here, but I forgot to upgrade my task. I wanted to show you the heat maps. I wanted to show you the heat maps. So normally what happens to the heat maps is different from the volume profile that we have here. So the heat maps is different. Okay, I'll be showing you these things as we proceed. So the heat maps will show you the it normally shows me where the orders have been placed, like orders that are pending orders. I normally get that from the normally helps me to get pending orders, not orders that have already been entered. You see, for example, when we are using volume profile here, we are using to get activities where the market going concentrations and where the likelihood of putting your buys and stop losses. But when it comes to heat maps, it normally shows me where the pending orders have been entered. Like, it tells me a lot, although it can be manipulative sometimes, but it helps me most of the time, like to know where buy limit, sell limit. Yeah, you know, all those orders normally can act as magnet. It can push some of these as the market. So this is the region I'm waiting for as for the 1 hour time frame. So once we be around this area here, you might be seeing dollar index actually moving up, and probably is going to be moving all the way to 98 or maybe 100 again, and that will be so interesting. That will be very interesting, as you can see here. So as this moves up, you're going to see also pushing the USD JPY up. It's the same thing that is going. Just look at how it has gone back from 486 to 100. So it's going to replicate the same to USD JPY. Is actually, when it moves big, it is actually going to make the same thing to the USD JPY, and it is just moves just like that. So that is the region I'm waiting for. So once we hit around 146 600, that will be interesting point for us now to at least engage from this market for the USD JPY. So that is what I'm waiting to see here. But you see, I have some point to check here. DXY, although most of the time it's not 100%. Yeah. What is happening to the gold? Okay, things are really crazy. That is what you have to know. So I think they were waiting for us to see prices moving and breaking this and probably forming another high, but buying from here is tricky. Although I know many of you are waiting to see the prices moving and us having 3,900, but I don't think this is the moment to do that. Let's wait and see. But if this prices comes to that, is going to definitely to buy from here. Yeah. So there might be a rejection here, although, but it can actually penetrate all the way. That's gold, man. That's gold. Yeah, but the moment we actually be coming back here, high possible market to revisit this, then at least we have some confidence to buy. Okay, but we have to be very careful on that, because as well, remember, today there's news, tomorrow all the way to Friday. So it's be very important for us as well to observe the news when we are really trending on this. Yeah, so those are the pairs I'm observing. Those are the pairs we are observing the moves on how the market is moving. But you can see as well the if you are trending JPY pairs, that you have to know that the JPY is the one that is lending these big moves. For example, when you check when you look so well on current JPY, it is really moving just almost the same like USD. It is pushing the market all the way down, just like this very big move that is really happening. And yeah, those are kind of things to just look at. If this normally happens, like this big move that you see here, look at this, where the RSI is. It's actually at 20. It's actually at 20. I think the last one was actually again 20, and there was another one that was at 13. Was it 13? Yeah, so you can see how these indicators normally don't work nowadays. So if you're using RSI, you can just check how the market is doing just sometimes, but you cannot really rely on these indicators, because just look at this RSI moving all the way to here. Look at this one, 13 mark. That crazy. There's another one that moved to 10, almost to 10, and that's crazy. Look at these ones. These are 18. This was 10 on our time frame. So this is crazy. So that means how the indicators normally use. Kitambo tulikuwa tunaweka indicator hapo tu inaenda. Unaekelea indicator ya 30, inafika 30 unabuy, inafika 70 una sell. Hii miaka ya 2019 2020. Siku hizi hebu jaribu hivyo, utaona moto. Wewe jaribu tu utaona moto. You see fire. Yeah, so that's what means that you can just check how the market is just doing in terms of the prices, but Yeah, you can see already the price is low, so that means around 22 here. That means the market is already almost to be exhausted for the price to move all the way to 20 mark here, although it's not accurate, but at least you can just know that the market is also ready to buy. That is the same thing that is happening to that is the same thing that is happening to this one. That is the same thing that is happening to the USD JPY. See, 25 mark. I'm not telling you to use the RSI. It's very dangerous. 4 hour time frame is almost there, so at least. But one thing that works is when you are using these indicators, make sure that you use high time frame. They can work from there, but if you're using lower time frame, it's not really going to work. So that's also I'm looking on. So you see now JSPY is back from there. Let's see DXY 650. So yeah, just moving up. Just look like this. So once we be moving up just like this, I think it's going to be much interesting. Things are going to be more interesting when we get that point. So that is what I'm looking to buy. So when I decide to follow currencies, I normally follow them. We normally follow them like crazy. We train them, we analyze in terms of so for this one, you can actually follow, you can combine canned JPY, USD JPY, most of the GBP JPY, you can actually check on that. Yeah, but when you're checking on the USD JPY, you are actually going to be affected more because of the US dollar. And if you're trading, not all the time you have to trade the US dollar, because there are some controversies there that can affect you. The market normally is very volatile and can be very unfair to you. So in case maybe you need to change, you can go for the Swiss franc. You can combine them with the you can go out the current, although they are not that volatile. It's just minor currencies. So as well as we proceed on this, as we switch the momentum, as we momentum increases, we're going to be switching to stock indices. We are going to be switching to stock indices. That will be checking more. So I love US30. I love Nasdaq, but the reason I've not checked that is because of some of the controversies that I've been reading from the market, from the US, in terms of the stock, and I think that could have actually affected the market so much. And if you do that, that's why you have to know the season to avoid some of the spares, because they can actually lead you to the bad path. They can make you a very good day of yours so bad. That's why I normally try to avoid them some of the time. I normally to until things settles down, then I would assume to the stocks, and I think we'll be checking at that as well. But I want us to resume to the news. So once we'll be checking the news, it will be so much interesting. So that is just a update that I was doing on this, because tomorrow I want us to check. Because tomorrow I want us to check the news. Tomorrow I want us to check the news. So we check the news sentiments and everything. Just look at that move that has happened here for U dollar index. This big move, it has actually derived the USD JPY as well to move up. That's what I'm looking about. Just look, this is what I'm talking about here. That is what I'm talking. You see this big move that we have here. Yeah, so let me read. Okay, that's what we have. Yeah, so today I wanted just to be quick, but maybe afternoon I might be coming back live again here so that we can discuss more. But tomorrow I want us to be checking on the news. That is what I want us to do. We check on the fundamentals, because this week is full of news, but tomorrow we have to check that and analyze the market so well. We are going to be there on that. Sentiments, we are going to check everything. We are going to check. So good. Okay. Okay, since there is no question, I just wanted to come live 30 minutes. But remember, tomorrow we embark again. Make sure that you do one thing: subscribe, like, and always comment on this. The market actually might, the USD might actually be coming back again too, all the way back. Might be coming back again, so there's no problem. So down again to our spot where we actually highlighted this, that is almost below 147, and that is going to be a good sign for you now to either buy, I mean. Yeah, so you'll be looking for the buy. I think who was talking about that one is Patrick. Patrick was saying that that's what we're looking at. Yeah. So I'll see you again tomorrow. Have a good trading day. Have a good trading day. Tomorrow we are going to be doing this for long hours. So ensure that you join us with a notebook and someone, invite someone, because this is going to be doing it for a long time. Hii tutafanya masaa mengi sana. Okay, very nice.